Hello and welcome back, angels and divine spirit beings. I had a strong feeling and calling to do a love reading right now, today. So I'm here looking at some trees in nature, and I just wanted to tap into the divine and see what you maybe need to hear today. So I'm going to connect in and see what comes to mind before I pull some cards for you. Also, I love you all, and you are connected to God. You are the divine frequency of love because God is love. So, if you'd like to take a deep breath before your spirit guides let you know what you need to know in your love life right now. This will pertain to every aspect because love is who you are. Love is the space that you radiate from. So if you're looking to find your purpose or your passion in life, you find it by tapping into your love. You find it by being your most authentic self. And when you are your most authentic self, whatever you feel called to do and say and be, that makes up who you are. And that character of who you are leads you into places where people need to hear your messages, people need to feel your light, people need to be around you because they need your energy. So you will find yourself being called into places that you never expected you'd be, and saying things you never thought you'd say because you're being called by a higher power. You're being called by the divine, by God. That is love. So when you tap into your own frequency of love, then you can be put exactly where God needs you to be. And this is all in a spiritual sense. So if you've been feeling called to do any mirror work, talk to yourself in the mirror about how much you love yourself, about how you are the frequency of love. Find things on your body, on your skin that you love about yourself. And the more you tap into this frequency of love, the easier it's going to be to love those around you. So when we let go of the ego and let go of the judgments of ourselves, and we stop judging ourselves for all of our flaws and all of our little personality quirks, then we can actually allow that light of love to see other people in that way as well. So you are love, and the more you see yourself as love and the more you recognize that love in yourself, the more you will recognize it in both people and also just life in general. Every situation you will start to see with love because you start to see yourself as love, because that is how the divine creator sees you. That is how God sees you, okay? So if you see yourself how God sees you, then you can see others how God sees them. So despite what they've said, despite what they've done, you can see them through the eyes of love, the lens of love, because that is God. So if we want to be like God, we need to start seeing the world like God, and that's a perception shift, and that is a choice. So right off the bat, wow, I've got the Ace of Wands and the Five of Wands. So you might be dealing with some conflict right now, but I do really feel that you're asked to see this conflict through the lens of love. So if anyone is acting in an unjust way, maybe think about what have they been through. Not that it's an excuse and that it's okay, but we're all learning on life together. We're all learning on this planet, and we're all going based off of our experiences. So some people have been hurt in the past and they may act out of trauma or fear, but that's not them. That's just this coating around them. That's this shadow, this shield to protect them. So if you can see them through the eyes of love, then you can react in a different way. Instead of reacting, you can actually respond with love, and that will actually change the course of this situation. So see how everyone is fighting with their wands, with their sticks. They cannot see. They're not even looking at each other. They're just acting out of anger. They can't see what's going on because their ego is clouding their vision. Sirens are going off right now. I am being called to say that the more you give into that anger and hatred, the worse it's going to get. But the more you give into love, the calmer it's going to be. Just as when a boiling pot is like raging, you can't see into the water. You can't see the soup. You can't see the potatoes. But when the water calms down and it's not boiling, it's not raging with anger, you can see in still waters. So you're being asked to pull your energy back right now. If you're dealing with a situation of conflict, you're being asked to focus on what would God do? How does God see the situation? And this is going to take silence. So maybe you're being called this week to take a step away from technology, disconnect a bit, hide distractions, start eating higher frequency foods like fruits, dragon fruits I'm getting, strawberries, mangoes, pineapple, things that are going to raise your frequency, so you're going to make better decisions. Because when our liver is activated and when we're angry and we're putting in alcohol and we're putting in stress and we're overworking ourselves at work, or we're over distracting ourselves, we're actually not healing, and so we take that out on the wrong people. And so this anger that is in us is a pain body. I don't know if you've heard of Eckhart Tolle, but he's an author and he talks about the pain body, and we basically regurgitate and spew out this anger onto other people because it releases that in us and it makes us feel better. But then after we do that and we put that pain on someone else, then we feel bad and we feel guilty. And we don't need to feel guilty because God is ever loving and Jesus will forgive us, but it's all about repenting. So this is not religion. This is about spirituality, being your highest being of yourself. And so if we want to see the world be a better place, we have to see ourselves as better, and we have to make better decisions in our lives. So if you're dealing with a conflict, choose love. Choose to see it from love. Forgive those around you because God has forgiven us. And this is all about seeing things in the lightest way possible, because that's the only way that things are going to change in this dark world right now. And you can choose to see it as dark, or you can choose to see it as light, and that's a choice. And the more we see it as light, the less it becomes dark and it transmutes. So you might be an alchemizer. You might be someone that transmutes pain that you've dealt with